Hello, everyone. Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar centered on designing engaging courses in medical sciences using videos. Before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Yuna Punil, the Curriculum Specialist at JoVE for APAC territory. It is great to see JoVE champions from various universities and regions joining our session today. Thank you all for being here. Joining me in this session is Dr. Lakshmi, a biophysics PhD holder with over 3 years of postdoc experience and more than 8 years of teaching. She brings invaluable expertise. She's currently serving as subject matter expert at JoVE. Dr. Lakshmi's insights promise to enrich our today's session. Once again, everyone, Dr. Lakshmi Srihasam. Please
Hello.
also join me welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Lindsay Parker, a distinguished lecturer at the School of Natural Sciences, Macquarie University, specializing in neurochemistry and nanotechnology. With an extensive background in neuroscience research and with her 17 years of experience, Dr. Parker brings a wealth of knowledge to our webinar. Currently, Dr. Parker's focus is on teaching human biology and biochemistry at Macquarie University. Let's all extend a warm welcome to Dr. Lindsay Parker. Now, let's talk about today's agenda. First off, I'll give a quick overview of the JoVE platform. Then, I'll walk everyone through the steps of creating a JoVE account. It would be great if everyone could have their PC or laptop handy, especially our faculty members. Next up, we'll hear from Dr. Lakshmi, who will give us an overview of JoVE core nursing, JoVE core anatomy and physiology, and JoVE clinical skills. Following that, our guest speaker, Dr. Lindsay Parker, will share her experiences using JoVE videos and quizzes in her courses. After that, I'll guide you through the process of embedding sessions for Moodle, Canvas, and Google Classroom. And lastly, we'll have a Q&A session. Feel free to type your questions in the chat box, and we'll make sure to address them all at the end. Now, without dragging this out any longer, let's start from JoVE, the word itself. JoVE. JoVE stands for Journal of Visualized Experiments. It is the world's leading producer and provider of scientific videos aiming to make the processes of teaching, learning, and practicing science more efficient. As of today, JoVE features a library of over 18,000 videos, and we're happy to say that it's continually growing. With over 1,200 new videos added each year, our global community includes over 1,000 subscribers, serving millions of users worldwide. This is all thanks to the dedicated efforts of our team in creating more valuable content. Our JoVE videos are accessible globally 24/7. We've also expanded accessibility by offering translations and voiceovers in 14 different languages, ensuring that our content reaches and benefits a diverse audience worldwide. So here, JoVE, visualizing science to improve student learning outcomes. How is that going to happen? On this slide right here, you'll notice there's a reading material on the left side and a JoVE video on the right side. Personally, I find the JoVE video extremely helpful for grasping the concepts. While the text on the left is important, watching the video allows us to understand the concepts better. Think of it like following a cooking recipe. Written instructions are useful, but a video demonstrates the techniques. JoVE specializes in visualizing concepts, which enhances understanding compared to just reading. While the text provides important details, the video is crucial for actually carrying out the steps, and that's where JoVE comes in. So the question is, how do we get started? First is, how do you access JoVE? To access JoVE, first, open any browser on your laptop or PC. You can use Google Chrome, Mozilla, or Internet Explorer. Then simply type in www.jove.com in the address bar, or just simply type jove.com. You'll be landed on this JoVE homepage with a blue background. Similar to any social media platforms, you'll find a sign-in button at the top right of the page. Next is click on Sign In, and you'll be redirected to this page. For existing users out there, simply enter your email address and password. If you have forgotten your password, simply click on Forget Password, and an email will be sent to you for the reset process. For those new to JoVE, you have to click this Create an Account below. Then you have to input your institutional email address. Then next, a verification link will be sent to you. After verifying your email address, there's one more additional step, which is super important, entering some of your details such as your first name, your last name, your preferred password, of course. It must be alphanumeric characters, and then your institution name. For the role, you can select professor or instructor. And lastly, your job title. Once you're all good, click on create an account. And there it is. Your name should appear at the top right of the page, indicating a successful account creation. Congratulations. At this point, I'd like to encourage everyone to really focus on our next speaker, Dr. Lakshmi, as she provides an overview of JoVE Core Nursing, JoVE Core Anatomy and Physiology, and JoVE Clinical Skills. Dr. Lakshmi, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much, Yuna. I would like to share my screen. Okay. Okay. So is everybody able to see the screen? Yeah. Okay. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. So I'm excited to present to you all our medical science collection at JoVE. And JoVE, as you all know, as Yuna has just told, it's a peer-reviewed methods journal for research. We also have a education section in our website that is aimed to teaching and training. It's aimed to be a teaching and training tool focused on key concepts. And we have two types of educational videos. One is the core video, which are shorter and have one concept discussed at a time. And also we have the science education videos, which are longer videos and are a mixture of a concept and a practical that is being implied or that is being used in that particular video. So today for medical sciences, we are going to focus on the education collection that we have that are useful for medical science education. So the pedagogy of medical science is multifaceted, as all of you who are teaching that must be knowing. So along with the traditional teaching methods, where you use the lectures, you have the classroom lectures, you have the practical sessions, you have the discussions, presentations by students. Along with that, you also have a bedside teaching, which would be like small groups of students or interact with the patient in the actual clinical setting. So what JoVE does is it acts like a bridge between these two, like the traditional teaching and the bedside teaching, by providing videos that explain the concepts in a visual way. So we have two types of videos here. First are the conceptual videos, which are core nursing. We have for core nursing and core anatomy and physiology. These give a visual representation or visual explanation of the concept that is there in the textbook to enhance the understanding of the student. Then we also have the demonstration videos, which are there in the science education clinical skills. So here we have the concept of a procedure. A procedure is being described and the practical demonstration of the same procedure in the actual clinical setting is given. So let us look at each of them one by one. The first is the core nursing. So the core nursing has 8 chapters and has 100 short videos. Each, again, I'm emphasizing one concept per video, because we have found that if we give too many concepts in one videos, the students tend to become overwhelmed. So we give one concept and typically the length of these videos is around 90 seconds. And we try to give a clear and crisp explanation and clear animation so that the students, it is both engaging to the students and also improves their comprehension. So these videos have comprehensive coverage they have evidence-based content, and and our main aim is to give high importance to the medical accuracy in these videos. And they are aligned to global curriculum, and they're suitable for undergraduate nursing students, and also graduate learners who are interested in refresher. Sorry. So now let us just go through the content that we have in our nursing collection. We have in introduction, we have around 10 videos which cover the concepts, basic nursing practice concepts, the organizational structure and of the healthcare setup, and also the ethical considerations that are that a nurse will be facing in a healthcare setup. Then we have 27 videos, educational videos on the healthcare system, where we discuss about the foundational principles of health and illness, the various healthcare delivery systems, primary, secondary, and tertiary care. All those things are discussed in this particular section. Then we have infection management. Here we have 22 educational videos which describe the different types of infections, the various methods that we need to follow to prevent and control infection, like hand hygiene, the PPE equipment, how to use the PPE equipment, and how to prevent transmission-based infections. All the precautions that has to be taken are discussed here. And the next section is about communication, which is very important. So we have here the communication strategies that a nurse has to follow in a healthcare setting, along with SMAR and therapeutic communications are all discussed here. And finally, we have 24 videos discussing about the nursing processes. Here we have discussed the steps and methods of nursing from assessment to evaluation following the 8PAE format. And we also have videos on critical thinking and evidence-based practice. And we have the textbooks that we have used is the Taylor and textbook, and also all standard textbooks we have used for the making this collection. And the production team that is involved in making this collection are all 90% of them are PhDs in that particular discipline. So we have tried refer to standard textbooks so that the level of medical accuracy is high in this collection. So here I am giving you just an example of a hand hygiene, like very basic video about hand hygiene, but which is very important. So on your left, you have the visual representation of that, like a typical image of what are the steps that are to be followed in hand hygiene. And here this is our video on that. So here you can see that all the steps and the various the steps that are there are given visually, so that it is easy for the person who is viewing to follow it and also implement it. So that is how the visual representation of the same is going to have the impact onto the students to enhance their comprehension and also retention. So the next collection I'd be discussing is about the core anatomy and physiology. As you all know, anatomy and physiology is one of the important subject in the field of medicine, because it focuses on the structure and function of the human body. It means there in almost all the medical and paramedical courses, it's a part of their curriculum. And a clear understanding of this is the base for all the other syllabi, all the other concepts that the student is going to come across later. So this is the basic foundation that is going to be given to the students. And as a anatomy and physiology, as I told, is a study of the human system. So it is many times it is it is complex. The concepts are sometimes complex and hard for the students to visualize. And this is where a video lesson would be very useful for them. So we have 21 chapters with 362 videos. and again covering one concept at a time. We have clear animations that are crisp and systematic and have systematic explanations for better understanding and retention. The content is rigorous and it is sourced from globally recognized textbooks to ensure scientific accuracy. We also have real-time practical applications of all the concepts discussed in the video in Scientist in Action videos. And this is targeted to most of the undergraduate clinical courses, pre-medical courses, and medical students. So these are the textbooks, standard textbooks like Mary, Martini, and Tortora we have referred to. So currently, this is our anatomy and physiology collection is it's like it is something that is in process. Like we have the part 1 and part 2, unit 1 and unit 2 released, but we also are having more units coming up in the pipeline. So currently what we have is the introduction to human anatomy and physiology. Here we have 141 videos that discuss about the basic terms that are used in A&P, the various cellular biochemistry processes, the homeostasis, about the homeostasis, what are the various types of tissues that are there in the cell. All these are discussed here. And then we have 46 videos on the skeletal system, where the different types of skeletal system, all the structure and function of the skeletal system, the type, the subdivisions, the axial, appendicular joints, all the videos are there here. And then we have on integumentary system, the structure of the skin, that various layers of the skin, all those videos that are there are described here. Then we have the muscular system, where we have the functioning of muscles, like how the muscle actually function, the types of muscles that are there are discussed, and also various types of muscles on each of the organ are also discussed here. Then we have 23 videos on the endocrine system, where the different types of hormones, different types of endocrine organs are discussed. And 86 videos on the nervous system, where the function of the nerves, the synaptic transmission, action potential, the functioning, basic molecular function is described, as well as the types of central nervous system, the organs that are there, the brain, the parts of the brain, the different types of nerves, and also the autonomous nervous system. These are all discussed here. This is it's like, I would say it's a starting of a comprehensive collection, because we have other organ videos on the other organ systems also in pipeline. So just to give you an idea of the upcoming releases that we have, in core nursing, we have unit 2, where we discuss about the documentation, reporting, ethical and legal considerations, recording and understanding of the vital signs. These are all discussed in the unit 2, which is it's our upcoming connection. Similarly, we have the core medical surgical nursing coming up, where we have the introduction to the respiratory system, gastrointestinal system, the various disorders that are there, the care that has to be taken and in these systems, and also the diagnostic and radiological interventions and investigations that are there that are discussed here. And in core anatomy and physiology system, all the other organ systems that are of importance, like the cardiovascular, lymphatic, immune, urinary, acid-base balance, respiratory, digestive, all of them are going to come in our upcoming collections. So the next collection that I would like to describe is our scientific education clinical skills, which we have 7 chapters and 97 video lessons. These are all comprehensive video lessons containing both the concept and the demonstration of the clinical procedure. The videos are actually filmed in the actual clinical settings, mostly featuring the patients or volunteers for the demonstration. And these are longer videos. They are from 8 to 10 minutes in length, and they have clear timestamps within the videos for easy browsing. And if we go into the content, we have here the physical examinations. We have 55 videos discussing the physical examination, where we have the examination of the major bodily systems, like cardiac exams, thyroid exam, abdominal exam, pelvic exams are all discussed here. Then the second section is about emergency and critical care, where we have 5 videos that discuss about the procedures commonly employed in emergency and intensive care settings. Then we have 15 videos on nursing skills, which demonstrate the medication preparation, administration, focusing on safety and considerations and dosage calculations, etc. And 12 videos on corona and COVID-19 procedures. So these were released free during the pandemic, and they were released free for the medical, all the medical fraternity to refer to during the pandemic. And these are one of the most popular and referred to, most intensely referred to collection in our scientific education clinical skills collection. So this is about our collection that we have. So I'd like to very briefly take you to our website to show you where exactly to find this. So in our this is our website which UNA has stored. So in the education section, you go to the clinical. There you see core nursing skills and anatomy and physiology. You can click on any one of them. So this is core nursing. You have all the chapters and the video lessons that are described here. So each of the video lesson, if you click, you'll have the video with the text below and also the transcript, and it's available in subtitles in multiple languages. So going back, just give you an overview of our A&P also, collection also. These are the chapters that we have right now, 21 chapters. Any one of them you click. Yeah, this is the video lessons. I would really recommend you to go through the video lessons. The animation is, we have put in quite an effort to make the animations crisp, scientific, and as accurate as possible, so that the students understand easily and are able to, it should be like, our aim is to be like that, it should be like an extension of the actual textbook that they are referring to. Then the clinical skill videos. Sorry, any one of them, you can just check any one of them physical. So these are the videos. They are slightly, as I told, they're slightly longer, this 9 minutes, and you have clear timestamps so that you can easily browse through that. So this is the collection, where to find the collection. Now, to use the collection, how to use the collection, definitely we welcome you to take a look and use them. Yuna will tell how to integrate and use them. But along with that, I would like to show a place where we have curated some playlists, ready to use playlists for you, so that you can use it directly for your curriculum. So you go to this red color text that is there on the website called Faculty Resource Center. And in this, you click on clinical medicine. So we have, see, all these are all the various playlists, curated playlists that we have made for each subject. Any one of them, like for example, fundamentals of nursing. So here is the playlist, comprehensive playlist. You can directly use the playlist as such for your curriculum. Along with these playlists, we also have textbooks mapped for your with our videos. Like you click on the clinical. Currently, we have these 3: the Guyton and Ganong and Harper. So, but this is growing. Our collection is growing. Any one of the textbook you see, you have the chapters, and each chapter is a playlist of the content that is actually in the textbook, and we have mapped our videos to those content. So that would be it. I would request you to go through our videos, also go through our FRC, and all. If you want it more curated or more towards your curriculum, you are welcome to share your syllabus with UNA, and we will be more than happy to curate a playlist just for your course. So I will stop here. I thank you all for your patience, and I'll give it back to UNA. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for that very insightful presentation, Dr. Lakshmi. Just before I hand over the spotlight to our guest speaker for the day, Dr. Lindsay Parker, just a quick reminder for everyone, if anyone has questions, feel free to put them in the chat box so we can address them all at the end. Now, everyone, here is our guest speaker for the day, Dr. Lindsay Parker. Let's all hear from her as she shares her experiences in utilizing our JoVE resources. Dr. Parker, whenever you're ready, please.
Hello. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Yuna. And that was a really nice overview, Dr. Lakshmi, about the different resources. I learned some new things as well that I definitely want to look into after this. I'm going to share my screen and show you a bit more here about how I'm using this resource. Hopefully you can see my screen now. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm trying to design an engaging course in medical science in a new modernized learning way. I don't really believe in using the old ways of teaching, which is the same that haven't changed since ancient Greece. So when we think about students learning in a modern context, their needs are going to be a lot different than, several thousand years ago. And we need to consider tailoring our course content to suit what it's like to be a student in today's world. So looks like it skipped over the slide for some reason about myself, but I'll just introduce myself. My name is Dr. Lindsay Parker. I finished my undergraduate in the United States at Michigan State University in 2006. After that, I started working as a research assistant for 2 years in a lab there before coming to Australia and starting a PhD in neuroscience in 2008. I finished my PhD in 2013, so I am just over 10 years post-PhD now. I have been a neuroscientist since 2006, so that is for 16, 17, almost 18 years since I started my journey as an undergrad in neuroscience learning, teaching, and research. And now, after finishing an ARC DECRA fellowship in Australia, which is the most prestigious fellowship for researchers at the early career stage, I have gone into doing more teaching-focused role at my university. I've always really loved teaching and outreach things. And once my fellowship finished, it gave me the opportunity to take on some more teaching at my university in subjects that I'm interested in. So I was lucky enough to take over teaching human biology at Macquarie Uni. That's the largest course in my department. So last year I had 864 students enrolled in one single semester. This year I've also co-convening biochemistry. Human biology is a first semester unit at my university. Biochemistry is a second year 200 level unit, which has around 300 students. I'm also guest lecturing and co-teaching macromolecules with around 100 students in third year. And I am the convener of medical biotechnology, which has around 80 students, and that's a master's technology course at our university. So I've got a pretty big teaching load, but I didn't just want to step into my roles and do things like they'd always been done. I wanted to apply some of my research experience and interests and innovation interests into my courses. So firstly, I started with my biology class. And I really wanted to think about the curriculum and how we could best suit the students instead of just suiting my style for presenting. So to do that, I'm using something called a flipped classroom model, where I do asynchronous lectures. And then when they have their workshops or their labs, like a normal practical class, they have mandatory online pre-lab activities that they need to complete for like an hour before they come to class. So maybe I can exit here and actually just show you this on my browser. That might be easier. This is what a standard lecture of mine looks like. So I have them set up in Moodle, is what my university's iLearn site is based on. And what I'm doing is I set them up in these H5P chapter books. I put in their learning objectives. I drop in my lectures. And then I use a series of different videos, short videos, like what you heard from Dr. Lakshmi. I add required readings. This one doesn't have a required reading. I also drop in things like textbook, suggested readings, for example, so links to textbook readings here. And I'm finding that it's a really great way to get my students informed before we meet in person for our workshop. So yeah, I'll move back to my presentation slides now. And what I'm really using them for effectively is the JoVE videos is in my practical lab classes. So I find that the videos, like you just saw from Dr. Lakshmi, are very good at helping to teach my students about more of the things that they might be doing on the day in their practical classes. So I have it set up that they need to do an hour of work beforehand, and they have to look through those chapter books, like I just told you, which are including these JoVE videos. So I've got them like in a series of JoVE videos set up here. Let's see, practicals. So if I just open that, you can see here that I've dropped in the information, like which was supplied on the JoVE website that they've curated from the textbooks to give a more overview, because in the way that I have it set up in this H5P module, it kind of clicks over to like a full screen type video, and it's hard to see that. But there's other ways of dropping them into your own content system where it's going to include that content, and Una can show you more about how to do that. But this is the approach that I'm using in order for them to have everything all in one area. Even for the labs, I've got learning objectives. They've got required readings that go along with this. They do all of these things before they get into the lab. And then once they get into the lab in my class, I make them do a quiz. So based on those videos and things, once they get there, and it's worth 10% of their grade, they're very motivated to show up and do that. So we'll go back here. So this is my format, the flipped classroom thing. And why am I doing that? Well, if you are a lecturer or a professor these days and you do a lot of teaching, you probably know that students don't like attending lectures in person anymore. In my biochemistry class, we've got 300 people. Last year, they were averaging around 2 to 10 people coming every time. In that class this year, we've moved things around a little bit to supply like worksheets where they follow along with the lectures, and that's bumped our attendance up to around 50 or 60 people in person each time. But even then, you're not reaching out to all 300 of the people in your class, which is still unfortunate. So also when it comes to things like your lab class or your workshops, they come to class unprepared when they do show up, if it's required, and that wastes a lot of time having to explain stuff to them once they get there. So the whole idea of the flipped classroom thing is that they do this learning before they get there. Once they sit down in their groups, they can spend the whole hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the time amount is, doing active, engaged learning with their classmates, and they have a better understanding of the subject already. I first got to know about JoVE through emails as a researcher several years ago. I think when JoVE was relatively new, they actually emailed me lots of times asking if I was interested to submit research kind of related JoVE videos, like as video papers, peer-reviewed papers. But the science education ones, I saw the emails from Una previously, and then was also further introduced by the faculty librarians at my university and academics who were using different digital tools, suggesting like different potential ones that I could use in my unit when I decided I wanted to redesign it like this. So JoVE was one of the ones that was suggested to me that would work well in my format. So I had a look to see what I could put in. How is it helping me? How is JoVE helping me solve some of my issues with people not showing up or not knowing what they're doing when they get to class? When I show them these videos in those pre-class activities, they come and they're more prepared when they arrive in person. So one really important thing that we've noticed is that it's dramatically increased the waiting and downtimes in our in-person classes. So for example, one of our labs is on microscopy. We had them watch this microscopy video and a few others before they got there, which was like information about how to use a microscope, stuff like this. A lot of information about how it works, how to manipulate it, things like that. When they came into class, we actually had allotted them like an extra 30 minutes beyond what it took them to complete the activities, because we've never had them completing those activities so fast before. So it's dramatically like given us more time to actually spend hands-on answering their questions in the class and doing like instructor demonstrations up in the front for whatever the subject material is. So like I said, I'm using a mix of like the JoVE science education videos that Dr. Lakshmi showed you, as well as those core videos. So in this one, which is a different practical class on where we're going to be dissecting a heart, this is happening like next week. I've dropped in some videos as well in the core learning, so they can do some learning here, for example, about the anatomy of the heart. We've already talked about it in lectures, but even despite that, it's always good for them to have like a nice review before we're ready to with the dissections on the day. And in my class, because they are having a 10% quiz, they're very motivated to watch these videos and learn the content because they know that they might be tested on it. So doing these pre-lab class and lecture kind of materials as videos and flipped learning chapter books is really making them become a lot more prepared and giving us as teachers a lot more time to teach them the things that they're saying that they're confused about. So again, I'm using a mix of the science education ones and the core videos, and I think that works best in my class to give them sort of an overview of like the actual science of the stuff, as well as some of the lab hands-on activities like making solutions or using a microscope, for example. Why am I doing this? It promotes the universal design for learning principles. So I'm a really big disability advocate. I have a disabled son myself. So I think that student-centered learning is the best practice for teaching. And I want to make sure that all 1,000 of my students this semester and the ones that I have next semester have the best chance to do well in these classes, especially in biochemistry, for example, which is a very difficult and heavy subject, or in human biology, which has 36 different lectures on completely different body systems and topics. So I think that this mix of asynchronous online learning and in-person contact with like maximized time for the instructors helps to increase the students' motivation to learn and their active engagement. It also puts the class materials in their hand, so they're able to do it in their own time when they have their hours. So most of the students these days will have a full-time job outside of university, for example. They can't always attend the lectures at the scheduled lecture times because they're not that flexible. I mean, I live in Sydney, Australia. It's so expensive here. It's hard enough to live on 2 incomes with adults. So I can't imagine how uni students are doing it. It's not surprising that they need to have jobs outside of the university. And I want to help encourage them to be able to do that and learn at their own pace and on their own time when they're able to do that. Aside from that, this style of format with like having a different combination of videos and readings is also best for different kind of learning styles. So auditory learning and visual learners. I've had a lot of feedback from students who are autistic, who have ADHD, who have hearing disorders, things like that. They have really supported this style of learning, saying that it's really helping them with their note-taking and with feeling less stressed about completing the content in the course and knowing what to study. So this flipped classroom model is perfect for executing things this way. If you want to read more about that, here's a paper, for example, or a review article, which touches a bit more on a lot of different findings of how this is an effective model of learning. So my take-home messages is that I'm using JoVE videos as part of my curated content in this flipped classroom model. I'm finding that it works really well. The feedback from my students is really positive about the JoVE videos. They're saying they really like them. A mix of the in-person and online activities really promotes them to have student-focused learning and supports different learning styles. So when I say student-focused learning, I mean the opposite of the traditional way, which is where the teacher curates all the material and spends an hour talking to everybody. Everything is really centered in that model around what the teacher wants, what the teacher expects. When you do this student-focused learning style, it helps better support them to take things into their own hand and be a more active learner. So if you use this model, I really suggest trying it out. It can maximize your in-person class time when you're with them. And then they come to class more prepared, they're more interested to come to class, and they actively engage more with each other and with their peers as well, aside from the instructors. So that's everything.
All right. Thank you so much for that really wonderful presentation, Dr. Parker. It's very detailed and a lot of good stuff, not just about our JoVE videos, but I also want to say it's just amazing to hear how you started knowing about JoVE and how it started helping you in your class, particularly saving you and your students more time for other class activities. I'm sure our faculty members joining us today were able to capture the good things and advantages you've experienced with the use of our JoVE resources. I also want to say that after hearing and seeing your great presentation, your students are so lucky to have you as their teacher. Thank you once again, Dr. Parker. Now, for any questions later on, we'll make sure to address them all at the end. Let me go ahead and proceed with the next part of this webinar. Let me go ahead and share my screen. There we go. Can everyone see my screen again? Thank you. Once again, there we go. Next part is how to share JoVE resources with your students. Dr. Lakshmi and even Dr. Parker has mentioned this. JoVE videos can be easily embedded into any learning management system or virtual meeting platform. In this part of the session, I'll demonstrate how to embed JoVE videos into Canvas, Moodle, and Google Classroom. These are among the most user-friendly LMS options for inserting JoVE videos, allowing us to share them with our students without requiring them to create an account or even logging in. So let me start. So first is to open any browser of your choice, be it Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Mozilla Firefox. One can just type in www.jove.com or just simply type in jove.com. You'll be landed in this JoVE blue background, JoVE homepage. Once you see this sign in, click on sign in. Earlier, I've already covered this one, but since I've already created my own JoVE account, all I have to do is to sign in. Let's just wait and sign in. All right, there you go. Now, first way to explore our JoVE platform is to search for any course-related topic of your choice, be it like, for instance, I'll search on Cell. I'm demonstrating how to easily navigate and explore our JoVE platform, but feel free to search for any course-related topic on your own. On the left part, we have the research collection results. On the right part, we have our education collection results. But let's go back to our JoVE homepage. Earlier, Dr. Lakshmi has showed us our different collections. Once you hover your mouse right here, you'll be able to see different results from our education. So we have this different axes here for easier access and navigation. But as an example, let's go to clinical. We have core nursing, short animated videos. Let's say we go to chapter 1. This consists of multiple videos. Two ways of embedding techniques. We have single video embed and creating a playlist. For single video embed, all we have to do first, and it's very important, you have to make sure that you are logged in and that you can see your name at the top right of the screen. So once you find the video, just click on embed video. And then you'll be able to see two types here, copy embed code and copy URL. Since I'm demonstrating 3 types of embedding for different LMS, we have LMS, Canvas, and Moodle, and we also have Google Classroom. I'll demonstrate first for Google Classroom. For Google Classroom, we'll be utilizing copy URL. So make sure to click on this, go to your test course page, and then click on classwork, create, select material, and then you can just copy paste the name of the video, and then go back, copy URL, and locate this link right here, and then add link. If you'd like to add more videos, you can do that before posting it or just before publishing the video. And students will just have to click and watch the video. But of course, we also have our LMS, Canvas, and Moodle. First, for our Canvas, we have to select copy embed code. go to your existing dashboard. For single video embed, we have to insert this video as a page. So this won't take long. There you go. Click on page. And then click this one, plus page. You can do the same thing, copy paste the name of the video, and make sure to click on copy embed code once again, just to make sure. You can see this HTML right here below the box, and then paste it there. And save and publish. And there you go. We have the video. Students don't really need to create their own JoVE account. All they have to do is click and watch the embedded video. That's for our Canvas. Same goes with our Moodle. For those faculty members out there using Moodle as their LMS, click on copy embed code once again. Go to your existing course page. Let's wait for it. And make sure to turn editing on right here and add an activity or resource. We have to look for a page here. And then you can just copy paste once again the name of the video. For the description box, it's up to you if you'd like to put anything here, but what we need is this page content box right here. Make sure to click this one, show advanced buttons, look for this HTML icon, and copy embed code once again. Highlight this or delete that, and then paste the embed code, and save and display. And there you go. Students will just need to click and watch the embedded video. So that's our first way of embedding, single video embed. Now let's discuss about creating a playlist. There are faculty members who'd like to embed or insert multiple videos instead of doing it one at a time. So instead of utilizing this embed video icon, we have to click add to playlist. For the first time, you won't be able to see any of this. You have to create your own playlist. Create new playlist. And then let's say nursing videos. Create. This video will be added to that playlist we are creating. There you go. As we browse through within our nursing collections or whatever collections you'd like to search for your videos, we just simply need to follow the same steps. So go to any video, click on add to playlist, locate that playlist we have created, and then there you go. Just tick the checkbox and automatically we have added 2 videos. Regardless of how many videos, be it 5 videos, 10 videos, or 50 videos, it doesn't matter. Where does it sit? You can locate it under your name, hover your mouse right here, and click on My Playlist. And there, you'll be able to see the nursing video playlist. Say, for example, let's use this nursing videos. We have added 3 videos right here. All you have to do is click on Download CC. CC stands for Common Cartridge, and it's a type of file that you can only open inside your LMS. Just a reminder, for creating a playlist, you can only do this, the embedding for LMS such as Canvas and Moodle. Meaning to say for Google Classroom, you can only do 1 video at a time. So single video embed. Now for Canvas, in embedding the playlist, all you have to do is to locate this settings icon on the extreme end of your left part of the page. Click on settings. And then click on import course content. Let's wait for it. Import course content. And then select Common Cartridge. The 4th from the bottom. Choose the file that we have downloaded. Click on All Content and import. Once it's completed, you'll be able to see that right here. It will tell you once it's completed. And where does it sit? Once it's completed, you'll be able to see that right here within modules. Scroll down and there you go. We have the playlist consists of 3 videos. Once you click that, you'll be able to watch the video. And good thing about that, we have the text reading material supporting the video. Same goes with Moodle. We have to follow the same process. So go back to your existing dashboard. Make sure to turn editing on. All right. There you go. Turn editing on and add an activity or resource. Earlier, we have inserted the single video as a page. Right now, we'll be using IMS content package. So you can just say nursing videos. And then description box, it's up to you if you'd like to put anything here. But what we need is the package file. Choose the file, upload it, and upload this file. And then simply save and display. There you go. We have the 3 videos embedded coming from that playlist we have created. And that's all for our embedding, but I'd like to just really highlight this one of the powerful tool that we have within our JoVE platform. This red text right here, Faculty Resource Center. Dr. Lakshmi covered this one earlier. We have these videos mapped to your courses and teaching labs and videos mapped to your textbook. One can just click on any of this. For instance, clinical medicine. So these are the most commonly requested playlists globally. So for example, for dentistry, one can just click it and follow the same steps for embedding the playlist. Download CC and follow the same steps. There you go. That's all for our embedding content. We also have quizzes, but it's only available for our unlimited subscribers. All right, bear with me here. Okay, that's all for our embedding. If one would like to have request for an assistance for how to access the quizzes, one can just send me an email. I could provide you my email and my phone number. You can see that on my screen right now. But I guess for this part of the presentation, we can now take a look on our questions. All right, Dr. Parker and Dr. Lakshmi, I hope you are ready. I could see some questions right here. Thank you so much for our audiences for these questions. First questions that we have, I think this is for our guest speaker, Dr. Parker. Dr. Parker, what specific features or aspects of JoVE have you found most beneficial for facilitating flipped learning activities?
Sure. Thanks for that. Yeah, I think, for doing the lab activities for me, it's really helpful to kind of show them a video of what they're going to be doing on the day in advance. So for example, when I use the microscopy one, they're watching a 9, 10, 11-minute video about how someone else is using a microscope in detail. And then we had another lab on making solutions. And again, in that one, I had 2 different 10-minute videos about how to make solutions from scratch, how to pH them, how to measure their concentrations and calculate those. The students found that really helpful for understanding what they were going to do on the day before they got there. So it saved us a lot of time with having to explain that as your teaching staff. So your teaching staff has more time to just, in our case, what we did is instead we had them sit down and make calculations of the concentrations and things in hands-on active learning instead of just explaining those kind of concepts, like demonstrating that as a teacher. So we were able to save like 30 or 40 minutes of our 2-hour lab just by not having to explain those things, and they've already seen it before they got there.
All right, thank you for answering that. Are you ready for more? We have another questions for you. Second here is, how do students respond to the use of JoVE videos? And a follow-up question, have you received feedback on the flipped learning method?
Yep. So I mean, I had a lot of student feedback on the JoVE videos. So I would say 99.9% was positive. Only one single student said they felt like it was a bit childish to watch cartoons, even though we are presenting like a mix of cartoon ones and of real lab kind of ones. So I'm highlighting the negative one first because I had, dozens of students saying positively that they really liked it and that helped them feel more confident on the day with their lab skills. They felt more interested in the lab and more comfortable with knowing what they were going to do before they got there instead of just showing up. A lot of my students, 2/3 of my class has never been to university before. They've never been in a lab before. So it helped them feel a lot less nervous about going to the lab for the very first time. And yeah, as far as like the flipped learning model, that's also really, they've been responding really positively to that. I have had some feedback about some kind of things that they want that might be a bit different in the workshops, which is they want to spend a lot of time like reviewing exam questions and things like that, because we're not doing it live in the lectures, but they do have access to like asynchronous questions. So I'm kind of referring them back to trying to do it that way, as opposed to just going through telling them exactly what's going to be on their final exam. It's basically just taking it back and telling them to think about themselves at university now as an independent learner, and think more about that they need to work out for themselves what they need to study instead of having their teacher tell them in college. So yeah, the feedback has been very positive. So far, we're just over halfway through the semester. And yeah, they've been saying that they're really enjoying it.
All right, that's great to know, Dr. Parker. Thank you for sharing that. But last questions that I could see here, based on your experience, what advice would you give to educators who are considering incorporating JoVE into their learning curriculum?
Yeah, so the downside of all of it that I showed you is it took me a really long time to make all of that. So it did take me a lot longer than I planned. I had originally allocated like 150 hours to redesign my course, and it's taken me probably double or triple that amount of time. But it's going to be able to last for a few years at least, which is a bonus. And I think it is, going to be overall better for the students as far as like learning outcomes and success rates and things like that. So yeah, on the negative, it did take a long time to find all the right content that I wanted. So I would suggest like what Dr. Lakshmi said, get in contact with their team and see if they can take some of that time out of your hands with curating your content, because I did that part myself. And it took me a really long time. And combined with like learning all the skills to navigate the Moodle programming and stuff, was very helpful for me with telling me how to embed my videos in like the H5P module, which is different kind of setup than what you guys saw. So make sure you're not afraid to like reach out to people and ask for help. Otherwise, you'll be drowning in time it takes to set it up. But I believe that it's worth it in the end. But it's still worth the effort.
Thank you. We really appreciate your answer to each question, Dr. Parker. We actually have one follow-up question, but I think this goes to Dr. Lakshmi. It says here, what's the average time for curriculum mapping?
Hello. Thank you, Yuna. So typically, we try to send it by 2 to 3 days, but typically on any day, within a week, it will reach you. Within a week, we'll try to map it according to your subscription that you have, according to the level of what you are teaching. If you are sharing a syllabus, and also whether it's an undergraduate or postgraduate, we'd be more than happy to make it if you want to slightly advanced course, means we add some research videos that are very relevant to that particular topic in the syllabus. So this is what we we've been doing it for so many faculty through internationally. We are a team of SMEs that we have, and please reach out, send your syllabi to Yuna, and she'll redirect it to us. We try to curate it and customize it as per your requirement. We'd be more than happy to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshmi. Yes, I'm going to be the point of contact for everyone. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining today's session. You can find my contact details on your screen now. So feel free to send me an email. I actually received one email from one of our participants. I really appreciate that. I'm happy to provide one-on-one demos, group sessions, or department training webinars as well. We also offer free syllabus mapping, just like Dr. Lakshmi mentioned, with the help of our subject matter experts team who hold advanced degrees in various science subjects. With this service, once again, I just want to highlight, each faculty member can receive customized playlists of JoVE videos that match their syllabus or lab training program. So essentially, it will save you time and streamline lesson planning. Just take a look at Dr. Parker's experience. Thank you once again, Dr. Lakshmi and Dr. Parker, for your time today. Thank you for everyone. I'll just play a 1-minute video to conclude this session. Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Our customer success team is here to ensure that you get the most from JoVE, whether it be mapping your syllabus to JoVE Multimedia, creating assessment aids, or general curriculum consulting. Our dedicated staff of STEM experts know this science and the students who are learning it. With academic backgrounds in science teaching and research, our curriculum specialists have an in-depth knowledge of identifying pedagogical challenges with JoVE solutions. Here are some ways they can help. Host institution-wide webinars and support library resource days and faculty one-on-ones. Map JoVE content to any textbook, syllabus, or lab training program and create shareable playlists, all built into your institution's subscription. Support the integration of JoVE videos into your LMS or learning management system, enabling students to watch videos seamlessly in their native learning platform. Set up quizzes related to JoVE videos to assess student comprehension. And assist with content and feature-related questions, such as using playlists and quizzes. A dedicated curriculum specialist is assigned to your institution specifically. Get the most out of JoVE today.